Hello.
Hi,
Hello, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm not too bad, thank you.
Okay, right. Can you see the board?
I see the board.
Can't see it. It disappeared.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, all right. Right. Okay. So, one of the topic you are supposed to learn is about market structure. Okay.
Yep.
Right. Now, I'll cover this not in the way I would have covered it. So I would focus on what you sent to me.
Okay. Thank you.
Otherwise, you may have to come back because you need to know other market structures.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that you can understand how they work, and obviously it's the basis or starting of economic analysis. Otherwise, without those, it's not going to be helpful at all.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
Right. So there are two extremes of market structure. So one end is what is known as a perfect competition,
Yep.
and the far end is what is known as monopoly.
Okay.
So the others are actually in the middle. So you have monopolistic competitions, they're in the middle.
Okay.
Okay. And also you have got quite a number of others. So for the time being, what you have been asked is the one side of the far end, which is the perfect competition, which also sometimes is known as market economy. Okay. So I'm going to go through these areas. That's all. I'm not going to cover anything else. Okay. So that you are ready to do your homework.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So what do you remember from your AS is that in the market, so that's where we start from. In the market, there are two groups of people. Okay. One group is actually buying the things. The other group is selling the things. So wherever there's a market, there are going to be these two groups of people. It doesn't matter whether the market actually is at a specific place or it is online or on the website. Always you have got these two groups of people. So one group is buying, another group is actually selling. Now, their motivation to be in that market are different. Okay. So motivation is what drives you to go to that particular market, or what drives you to get involved in the business that you are dealing with. Now, the consumer, who are actually the buyers, they are in the market because they want to maximize the value of their money. Now, value is the number of goods and services that one unit of money can buy. So you can see that to maximize the value will mean if the price goes down, with the same amount of money, they are going to buy more goods and services.
Okay.
So therefore, the buyers, or you call them consumers, they are more interested to buy more when the price is down because they will benefit more. Okay. So maximizing the value is the benefit. Sometimes it's also called utility. Okay. So they will actually benefit from their money once the price is down. So therefore, if you're a buyer, always you are negotiating the price to go down. Okay. So the next group, which is the supplier, they are in the market because they want to maximize their value for their money. It's not value, the profitability of their products and services. So therefore, they'll earn more profit if the price has gone up. So therefore, they'll be negotiating the prices to go up. So you can see there are two forces in that particular market. Wherever two groups of people are meeting, some are buyers, some are sellers. One group is pushing the price to go down, who are actually the buyers, and another group is pushing the price to go up. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Now the buyers, they are represented by a demand, which you saw a demand curve. You did that in your AS.
Yep.
While the sellers, they are actually represented by a supply curve. The supply curve shows you that as the price increases, the quantity that is going to be supplied is also increasing. The reason is because obviously they are maximizing the profit. While the demand curve, which represents the consumer, they will buy more if the price drops. So these two groups of people, they have to negotiate in order for them to reach a certain point where both of them, they're happy.
Yep.
Okay, so therefore, that point, you call it equilibrium point. Equilibrium point is where the buyer and the seller, they are meeting their minds, which means they have agreed that, okay, this is the amount, this is the price we need to pay. And also this is the amount we're going to supply, and this is the amount I'm going to buy. Okay. So that equilibrium price is what is known as a market price.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this only happens in a perfect competition. Okay. So in a perfect competition of market, you are going to have these forces play. But in other market structures, it's not going to work. Let's say, for example, in a monopoly, there's only one supplier, so he has more power. The consumers or the buyers cannot negotiate the price at all. He just charges the price.
Yeah.
Okay. So because otherwise, if consumers try to negotiate, he will say, go away, others will come, because he knows he's the only one there. Okay. So these market forces are known as invisible hands, and you can see they determine the price that is going to be actually set for the product or service, and also they determine the quantity that is going to be produced and the quantity that is going to be consumed.
Okay.
And at the same time also, it determines what to produce and for whom to produce and how much to produce. Now, in order to produce, we need to allocate resources. Okay. So otherwise, without resources, we can't produce. Okay. So therefore, the quantity determine what resources we're going to actually use and how much we're going to use. And now remember that in a perfect competition market, as far as economics is concerned, there is no room for poor people. There's no room for people who have no money. We only produce goods for people who can actually buy it, which means the people who don't have money, they should go and die. We don't care about them. So that's the reality of what these market are. Okay. Now, being a perfect competition market, are you lost or you're still there? You have disappeared.
Hello.
Yeah, you are disappearing. Your internet is giving you a headache.
Sorry, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. So let's look at the price. So one of the elements there we can see is actually the price. Price is playing a very big role. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are using price mechanism to determine the resource allocation, and it's more efficient way of doing that. But you will see the disadvantage of perfect market competition or perfect competition or market economy. So we'll see what are the disadvantages of these. And already you can sense that they have said people who are poor, they are not included in the market economy. No.
Yeah.
They should die. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not about going to heaven here. No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So what is the price mechanism? Okay. Now, from so far what I've explained, the price mechanism is the means by which decisions of consumers and businesses will interact to determine the allocation of resources.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the businesses there, they are the suppliers or producers. Okay. So these people, they need to interact. And you can see we are united by the price, or what joins the consumer and the producer is actually the price.
Yeah.
Because the price will dictate the profitability that the producer is going to earn, but also it will determine the maximization of the benefit that the consumer is expecting. Okay. The free market price mechanism clearly does not ensure an equitable distribution of resources and lead to market failure. Okay, so you can see already disadvantage of market economy.
Yeah.
Now, what are we talking about here? Already, I have just said anything that is not going to make profit is not going to be produced in the market economy. So therefore, things like public goods, okay, they are not going to be produced if you leave it to the free market. Therefore, there's going to be a deficit of these. Sadly, if we look at products that damages people, okay, so they are not improving the living standards of people, but they are damaging, for example, tobacco, alcohol. If you leave those to free market, they are going to be produced in large numbers, so that so many people should be damaged. Okay, so that's not good.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also you have goods which are very beneficial to society, like education, vaccine, health care. But if you leave it to the free market, it's not going to produce in a larger quantity or enough to actually support everybody in the economy.
Yeah.
So these demerit goods, merit goods, and public goods automatically
Can't get that info feed.
they will lead to market failure. Market failure means they are not going to be produced enough to actually save everybody in the community.
Yeah.
Do you follow?
Yeah, got you.
Right. So therefore, we need intervention. Okay. So the government will intervene. So that's why things like defense is going to be actually catered by government. Healthcare services going to be catered by government. Things like education is going to be catered by the government. So the government has to intervene. Now, the moment the government intervene, then it's no longer free market at all. Okay, because it tends to distort. And in UK, you can easily see that as soon as we look at the things like how young people get paid when they are working, the businesses believe that young people are not knowledgeable enough, they are not experienced enough, they do not have enough skills, they do not have enough competences, so therefore they need to be paid very little. Okay, but the government says, no. Then you are looking at them as cheap labor. Okay, so you are underpaying them. So therefore, we need to intervene. Now, by intervening, what will they do? They create things like a minimum wage. Okay, and this minimum wage or living wage is going to cause not market wage anymore. it might be above the market equilibrium wage, which they were supposed to be paid. Now, the moment the wage is going to be higher, then immediately the demand for labor, which means demand for young people to work, is going to be actually reduced massively.
Yeah.
Okay, while many of you young people, because you think there's plenty of money there, many of you want to work, so there's going to be an employment of young people. So these, we call them government intervention failure, which we'll talk at some time when we talk about economics. Okay? Right. Okay. So let's continue with this. Okay. Now, so obviously changes in the market price. Now remember, I've said we are taking market price. Market price are being determined by market forces of demand and supply. So therefore, both the producer and the consumer, they are price takers. They don't decide their own prices. They don't charge their own prices. No, they take prices from the market because of market forces. So dictate what price we should actually charge this particular product and how much should be paid by the consumer. Okay. Right. So let's look at what happens if we change in these market prices. Okay. Are you still there, or you have?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
Okay. So changes in the market price act as a signal about how scarce resources should be allocated. Now, you did these resources right at the start of your economics. Okay. So what you learned is that obviously resources are scarce, which means they're always in short supply because the needs are quite so many. Okay. So a rise in the price, so you can see, remember, if we increase the price, so the price go up, that automatically is going to favor the producer. Yeah, so it's going to jump around. He's going to be happy, and he will be prepared to produce more because he knows that he's going to make more profit. Okay.
Yeah.
So a rise in the price encourages producers to switch into making it that good, but encourages consumers to use an alternative substitute. So the consumers, they say, no, this is too expensive. No, I can't use this. So instead of using, let's say, butter, they are going to probably go without butter, or they might look at it for alternative. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what will happen then? Automatically, there's going to be rationing of that particular product. Okay. So what we are saying here, remember that the producers, they will only produce products which are going to maximize the profit. So if the price goes up, they will switch off from the other products we're producing. They will run more towards the producing products whose prices have gone up. So therefore, what we are saying, they are going to reallocate their resources. So they will relocate their resources, which means allocating more resources to the products that are more profitable than those that are not profitable.
Yeah.
Okay? What about a fall in the price? If the price go down, that is going to favor the consumer. Okay. Now, obviously doesn't favor a producer. So a fall in price leads to an extension of demand. What he's saying there, the demand is going to increase massively.
Yeah.
But makes it less profitable for business to supply the goods or service affected. Okay.
Mhm.
So this is the problematic in the world. Balancing these is not easy. Okay. That's the headache you have as an economist. How do you balance this? How do you know how much we need to produce? How do you know what price we need to charge? So this creates a big problem. Okay. Anything that we do is going to actually irritate either the consumer or the producer. Right. So one of the things you need to understand is the concentrating on what is the real role, what's the function of the price mechanism in this particular perfect competition market. Just remember, we are talking about perfect competition market, no any other market we are talking about this. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, this happens in only perfect competition, or which is known as market economy. So the price there, as you can see already, is actually signaling. So it's a signaling function. It has got a signaling function. So prices perform a signaling function. That is, they adjust to demonstrate where resources are required. So as long as we know the price there has gone up, then we say, okay, I'm going not to make this, I'm going to shift to that. The same way, let's take in terms of human resource, like people. Yeah, obviously, people, when they are looking for work, they are looking for higher wages, or they are looking for rates per hour. So obviously, the job that pays them more, that's where they are going to go. Now, remember, people are actually resources. They are resources for production. So therefore, people will more shifting to jobs that obviously have higher wages. Now, those jobs that have higher wages, they have higher wages because the products that are being produced are actually being sold at a higher price, so that the producer can sell them and then earn more money, and some of the money pays for the wages. Okay. So price rise and fall to reflect the scarcities and surpluses. Okay, I will explain more when we're going to be looking at the graphs. When you come back, we're looking at the macroeconomics at one point. So if the prices are rising because of higher demand, okay, from consumers, this is a signal to supplier to expand production to meet the higher demand. Yeah. Are you listening? Seem you have gone. You're coming back. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
If there's excess supply in the market, the price mechanism will help to eliminate that surplus of goods by allowing the market price to fall. Okay. Now, what he's talking about there is this. Can you see what I'm writing? Yeah.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, so this is a demand. Okay. And this is a supply. Okay, so this is equilibrium price, which we call market price. Okay.
Yep.
And so this is the quantity that is going to be produced in this particular market. Okay. So what is it saying? Let's say the price has dropped from here down. Let's start with the down. So the prices has dropped. So if it drops, you just draw a line from here to there. What you're going to see, the demand has increased from Q1 to Q2, but
Yep.
the supply has reduced from Q1 to Q0.
Yep.
Okay. So therefore, here, what has happened, there's a greater demand than what is being supplied. What is being supplied in Q1. Okay. So what does the supplier do? The supplier, the only thing he can do is to increase the price. So the price will go back to there. Can you see that?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
I can see it.
If it goes on top here, again, you just need the line. So you go down. Okay, and then you ship down here. So this is the CMP3. So what you're going to see, if the price go up, the demand has gone down from Q1 to here. Let's say Q minus E. Okay. But the supply, you can see the supply has increased from Q1 to Q3. Okay. So what will happen here? So the supply is greater than the demand. So what will happen?
The supply is greater than the demand. They'll have excess.
Yeah,
They'll have excess.
What do we need to do to get rid of those products?
You have to decrease the price.
Yeah, we have to decrease the price. And that's what happens soon after Christmas. Yeah, before Christmas, so many supermarkets, they'll put plenty of goods there. But as soon after Christmas, people stop buying. And then you have got this, what we call a sale. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's what he's talking about. Okay. So that is signaling there. That's what he's talking about. Okay.
Okay.
Another function of price is actually the incentive. So obviously you're going to see there, its incentive function is that through choices, consumers send information to producers about their changing nature of needs and wants. So if once the tastes of consumers change, which means the goods they want, if they have changed in what they want, that message will go to the consumer, I mean to the producer. How does it go to the producer? It's the price. They stop buying. Yeah, they stop buying, or they start buying very little. So then the producer will know that our goods are no longer in demand. So obviously, what will happen there is that they start thinking, why have they changed? So what do we need to do? Okay. I says one important feature of free market system is decision making is decentralized. That is, there's no single body responsible for deciding what to produce and in what quantities. It's only determined by market forces of demand and supply. Now, sometimes it's called invisible hand. Okay. This is in contrast to a planned, so the state-controlled economies they were before in, I think, in the Soviet Union and Cuba. Yeah, in those ones they are controlled by the government.
Yeah.
So in that particular area, it's the government which actually decide what need to be produced and how much and for whom it should be produced.
Yeah.
Now, to a planned economic system where there is a significant intervention in market prices and state-owned ownership of key industries. So those markets, they are not efficient. No, they don't allocate resources efficiently. Okay. Okay. What about rationing function? Okay. So the price mechanism has got rationing function. Now, prices ration scarce resources, as we said, when demand outstrips supply. Okay, so the diagram I was showing you, okay, it helps us to actually to decide what we need to do. When there is a shortage, prices actually bid up. Okay, that's what we saw, leaving only those with willingness and ability to pay to buy. So, in this sense, as I said, there is no room for people who are poor. Okay, so there's no in these economic models. They don't exist. So you should not be surprised why we still have got so many poor people. When so many so many countries have plenty of money, why can't they just distribute the money? Yeah. Right. So what we have said, the price mechanism is the means by which decisions of consumers and the business interact to determine the allocation of resources. The free market price mechanism clearly does not ensure an equitable distribution of resources because it does not favor demerit goods, public goods, okay, merit goods. Yeah, those they are if you leave them to the free market, they are not going to be produced and distributed fairly. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So that looks at your first part of the question. I think that's what they asked you.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. The next part looks at the lower part of your homework. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So here we're going to look at the free market economic system. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the free market means that economic decisions are taken by private individuals and firms. Okay, that's what is important. So everything is owned and operated by private individuals. Now, when they're talking of private individuals, they are differentiating from the government. Okay.
Yeah.
Government is always seen as a hostile entity to economics. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
In a pure free market, there would be no government intervention in the economy.
Okay.
Can we find one? The answer is no. Okay. The answer is no, because of the problem of public goods, the problem of demerit goods, the problem of merit goods. Okay. However, in practice, governments usually involve themselves in the implementation of certain laws, which we need, They say they are protecting consumers,
Yeah.
so that they are not exploited by the hungry producers. And certain public services, because they doesn't trust that the free market can actually provide it. Even if only a national defense and the protection of private property. We often speak about America as having a free market, and that's the only example that you will get. But even in America, there's going to be a mixed, it's very unlikely that you are only going to have a free market economy. No, most of economies, they are actually mixed. You will see when we'll be covering market structure.
Yeah.
Now, because most businesses are left to private enterprise in America, so that's why they think it is a free market economy or market economy. But even in America, the government spends, you can see, about 35% of GDP. For example, military defense, they spend a huge amount of money because they know that if they just leave to the free market, there's no way America can be protected. Okay. They also spend a lot of money on education, a lot of money on the medicine. So the healthcare services, they are actually managed by the government.
Yeah.
Theoretical support for a free market was strongly supported by Adam Smith in his book, The Wealth of Nations. These are some of the old intelligent people, not as of modern. No, we're just reading things that these people created. I wish that I was born at that time, because then I would be able to create something for myself.
Yeah.
And I would die famous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these days, no, we are reading the same things they wrote, and then you graduate. You say, yeah, I went to the university, but what have you achieved? Nothing. The Wealth of Nations tried to explain that when people try to maximize their individual utility, it leads to the best outcome for the rest of the society. Now, what is it talking about here? Okay. Now, you are yourself, look at yourself. You are working hard, okay, doing your A levels, okay.
Yeah.
Now, you are knowing that if I do my A levels, I go to university, get my degree, I'm going to get a better job, okay.
Yeah.
But once you get a better job, you get paid. When you get paid, you're going to need things like rent, water, food. So therefore, you could take this money, share for these things that you need yourself to survive.
Yeah.
By doing that, you are creating jobs for other people.
Yeah.
You follow?
Yeah.
Yeah. So your own efforts, your own working hard now is going to benefit the others. Okay. If you work in a hospital, you're going to help people who are sick, making them feel better. So he's right that if we do our own individual efforts, do our best, it does help the society as a whole. Okay, we contribute to the society. But probably you may argue, okay, that not everybody, which is true. I was defeated because myself, I'm always a believer that education is the best way actually to help yourself, but also to help your society, to help the community. And at one point, when I was thinking of returning to my country, I was hoping that I would influence the government to have mass education, that everybody should be educated to a certain level. And that's the dream I had, because to me, education is the best.
Yeah.
But I was put off. I was put off when I was lecturing at the university before I set up my own tutoring business.
Yeah.
Now, I supported a student there who was doing a master's, and the student came from Bangladesh. This student comes from a very poor family, like my family. And his own parents had to borrow money to help him to come to United Kingdom. So he came one day and said, "Doctor, I need your help." I said, "What?" He said, "I want to talk to you because you look more like my father." I said, "Okay, let's talk." So he shared with me some of the difficulties, the problems the parents were facing because of money they borrowed to send him over here. and I helped to encourage him to go and get some job in McDonald's. When he was starting his dissertation, which is the last project they do for master's program,
Yeah.
he was struggling with writing. I really helped him a lot. I said, no, send me the drafts. I'll have a look at them. I'll provide the support you need, redrafting them, showing you where mistakes are. I worked so hard to help that student with the hope that if he can succeed, he's going to help his family. But I was shocked. He graduated with a 2.1, which was a really good grade. So I left him at that point because he has graduated, he's gone. Unfortunately, myself, I decided not to continue lecturing. I wanted just to work by myself.
Yeah.
So I left and came. And then 1 week later, after he graduated, then I don't know what made me to buy a newspaper. Normally I don't. But I bought a newspaper. I was reading that newspaper. I find he is on the front page.
Wow.
Why has this man been on the front page? Now, this is the man who has actually went to join ISIS and then he got killed.
Wow.
You see how hopeless I became. I did not even have energy at all. I couldn't believe it. So then, obviously, I started questioning myself. Why do I think that the best people are people who are educated? Some people, they're educated, but they take decisions which are, you can't really believe it. Why?
Yeah.
And also, when we look at most of highly educated people, highly intelligent people, I was just talking to my wife. We were watching somebody, I think it's, what do they call him? Musk, who is here. The one who took over what do you call it? Facebook. You call it Musk? No, not Facebook. What is the other one? He called it. He has put it as X. What do we call that? What is it called?
Oh, Elon Musk.
Yeah, Elon Musk. Yeah, he's in UK at the moment.
I think Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter. Yes, he took over Twitter. Yeah. So you look at Elon Musk. That man is very intelligent. Yeah.
Yeah.
But look at his behavior. The same with Boris Johnson. Yeah, very intelligent person. And most of the people who are very intelligent I've seen, their behavior is totally hopeless. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So then I tend to get now defeated that probably education is not.
Yeah.
It's not always the best. Yeah, but where we have to be there. What can we say? Yeah, that's fine. So this Adam Smith really was one of the good thinkers at that time. Now, however, Adam Smith was aware of some limitations of free market. Yeah, so he was aware that obviously leaving things to free market may not work. Yeah, especially for different things. You'll see what we are going to look at. So we're going to look at these things here. For example, he was aware of how monopoly power could be abused, which is true. Yeah, they can overcharge the customers. Yeah. Now, if they overcharge, which means they set a price up, each time you set a price up, it means the society which is below that income level, they are not going to be to access those products you're actually providing because they can't afford them. Okay, so in that sense, the economy is not benefiting everybody. Okay, that's the idea behind it. Okay.
Yeah.
But basically, his theories crystallize the theoretical underpinnings of a free market approach. Many of his arguments remain relevant today. So yes, it's the starting point. The free market is always a starting point of analyzing the markets before you can actually go to other ways of looking at the markets. And these simple models of demand and supply, they have survived the times. Okay. Now, there are benefits of free market. So the first one, firms have incentives to be efficient. Okay, particularly, remember, they need to have maximizing their profitability. Now, maximizing profitability, we have already seen the easier way of doing it is to do things that the businesses have got control over. Now, they do not have control over price because we have seen if they increase the price, the demand drops. So that's not a good way of maximizing the profit. They can't maximize the profit by raising the price. So what do they need to do? They need to be more efficient, which means reduce the wastage. Okay.
Yeah.
Buying raw materials that are cheaper. Okay. Training their people so that they obviously they can work quickly and also they can have less wastage of the materials they are using. Yeah, so in that way, yeah, obviously their profitability will go up without necessarily affecting the demand. Okay?
Yeah.
It avoids the bureaucracy often involved in government intervention. Yeah, in the government intervention, there are a number of what we call policies, the government policies, government legal requirement of doing things. One of the things I laugh in the UK is giving people money when they are not working and they have got ability to work. They call them benefits. And these benefits, they are not helpful to people because after using benefit for some time, people stop work or looking for work. Yeah. So, and the more longer it works, you don't work, then obviously the skills will be lost. And if the skills are lost, it means to get back to work, you need to be retrained, which is going to be another cost. The profit motive provides an incentive to cut costs, as I've just said, and make efficient use of scarce resources. So that is making sure that you are actually not wasting the resources you have. There's also economic freedom, which is important for personal freedom. So choosing what needs to be produced and what needs to be consumed. I stood there, you seem to have disappeared. Hello. Hello. If you can hear me, you're on a mute. No, your internet is a problem there. Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Your problem. You have got a problem with your internet.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what are the problems with a free market? Yeah. Capitalism is the outstanding belief that the wickedest of men will do the wickedest of things for the greatest good of everyone. And these are John Maynard Keynes, who are actually more modern economists. So this is what they were believing in. But let's see what were their arguments against this. Okay. They are saying a free market has various problems, and this is a silly mnemonic as to help you just remember them. They call them PIM first. Now, most of these have already talked about them. So the first is the public goods. Can you hear me? Yeah?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so public goods are not provided in a free market. So therefore, they're going to be provided by the government. Why are they not provided by the free market? Is because they have characteristics which they call non-rivalry. Now, for example, if you have got a road, you can't claim that this is my road. Everybody will use it, so you can't put a price on it. No. Okay. And also, when you put a road there, everybody is going to use it. The same with the defense. Everybody is going to be protected, including even the thieves, they're going to be protected. Right? So therefore, you can't leave that to the free market. The other problem is inequality. Okay, a free market, obviously, I've already said, provides no social security net for those who are unemployed. So I was talking about people who don't have money, people who are poor. Okay, so there's going to be an inequality in terms of distribution of goods, in terms of the way they use the goods. So that is extremely important. Okay. And then obviously there's this monopoly power. So in an unchecked free market, monopolies can easily develop. And this is why British government, they are always keen to make sure that the company doesn't expand so much large that obviously it acts like a monopolistic. Now, in a monopoly, as I said, the owners will have more power. So because they have more power, they tend to set higher prices. And then they exploit the consumers and workers in a sense that they pay them very tiny, and also they're getting more money from the consumers, but the product quality is going to be very poor.
Yeah.
Now, because they're in a monopoly, obviously the consumers have no choice. They have to buy from that particular individual. Another problem with a free market is the merit goods. Okay, so for example, I actually mentioned this example: education and healthcare. They are going to be underprovided. So merit goods are going to be underprovided because the people underestimate the benefits of going to school, for example. Maybe because we don't know. Yeah, when I was young, I still remember saying, no, this school is not my school, it's the school of my dad and mom. Because they are the ones who are forcing me to go to school. I never knew the benefit of school at all. Okay. Then there's also a problem of factor immobility. Again, we are talking about geographical unemployment here. Now, people may not actually get a job because the job is not in their own local area. And they may not move to where the jobs are found because maybe they don't want to lose their own families. They have got friendly friends around. It's the area which they actually they are used to. Maybe they are born and they grow up there, so they don't want to leave that and go to the new area. Another factor of immobility is going to be a lack of skills. So, for example, if you have lost a job as let's say, a care assistant, you can't get a job as a doctor because you haven't got skills, you haven't got trained to do that. The same with bus driver. Obviously, he's a bus driver. You can't, if he loses that job, he's not going to become a cashier tomorrow. No, he hasn't got skills at all. Then we have a problem with agricultural products because the weather itself is unpredictable. Okay, so obviously it tends to harm the crops, and during that period when the crops are bad, then there's going to be shortage of supply there. So you can see it's the problem. Then we know generally that the economy is not always high or in a positive side. It has got the up and down. That's the way economy runs. So it follows what we call a business cycle. Now, because of this business cycle, where sometime economy is growing, another time economy is declining. During a declining phase, which we tend to call it a recession, and then companies tend to lay people off. So therefore, people will be jobless. So as the people are jobless, then it means the factors of production are not being used. So that is going to be seen as a waste of resources. Okay. Then we have got externalities both on the consumption and as well as on the production. So overconsumption of goods like tobacco with negative externalities. Okay, so that's not really a good thing at all because it's going to damage the society. Then we have demerit goods. Demerit goods is overconsumption of goods like alcohol, where people overestimate the personal benefits and underestimate the costs of getting drunk. Yeah, so shouting around the road, giving disturbance to everybody, or engaging in fighting, or you get injured, you end up in the hospital, the police end up coming to pick you up. All these things, they are actually the costs that are not taken into account when the producer of alcohol is actually putting a price. So you find that most of the demerit goods, the problem that they are cheaper than the actual cost incurred. The reason is because they do not include the society cost. Okay, so it's cheaper. Right. So these are the two things that your homework is about. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any question at all?
Could I get a definition of market economy, please?
Market economy.
Yeah,
market
I think
economy,
that's what the question asked. So.
Yeah, I think I gave you. Market economy is the same as a free market.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so here's a definition here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other?
Okay, I got it. Oh, sorry, I was just a bit confused. Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Right, so I'm not going to start anything new, okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I will send these notes in a minute. Did you get those ones?
The completing the square.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got those.
Okay. I'm going to send you these. So we'll need these minutes another day when obviously we may need more time. Okay. But
Yeah,
now I'm going to leave you so can work on your homework.
okay.
All right. Okay. So you take care. Okay.
You too. Thank you very much. Thank you for the help.
Remember, you need to book at least a day before. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you book, immediately tell your mom to make sure that the hours have been bought. The hours are never fixed. Even if you tell me, it does not necessarily mean they are fixed. No. Any student who comes will take those hours away. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the only way you can fix them is to buy them.
Okay? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for the help.
All right. You take care. Okay.
You too. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay.
Is this recorded as well, so I can look back at it?
Yes, you can go back. Use the same link I gave you, so you can get back.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.